Letter 115 of Letters on Different Subjects in Natural Philosophy. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Larry Wilson. Letters on Different Subjects in Natural Philosophy, Volume 1, by Leonhard Euler, translated by Henry Hunter. The true foundation of human knowledge. Sources of truth and classes of information derived from it. Having taken the liberty to lay before you my opinion respecting the most important article of human knowledge, I flatter myself it will be sufficient to dissipate the doubts which naturally arise out of the subject from want of exact ideas of liberty of spirits. I shall now have the honor of submitting to your consideration the true foundation of all our knowledge, and the means we have of being assured of the truth and certainty of what we know. We are very far from being always certain of the truth of all our sentiments, for we are but too frequently dazzled by appearances, sometimes exceedingly slight, and whose falsehood we afterwards discover. As we are, therefore, continually in danger of deceiving ourselves, a reasonable man is bound to use every effort to avoid error, though he may not always be so happy as to succeed. The thing to be here chiefly considered is the solidity of the proofs on which we found our persuasion of any truth whatever, and it is absolutely necessary that we should be in a condition to judge if they are sufficient to convince us or not. For this effect, I remark first that all truths within our reach are referable to three classes, efficiently distinguished from each other. The first contains the truths of the senses, the second those of the understanding, and the third those of belief. Each of these classes requires peculiar proofs of the truths included in it, and in these three classes all human knowledge is comprehended. Proofs of the first class are reducible to the senses and are thus expressed. This is true, for I saw it, or am convinced of it by the evidence of my senses. It is thus I know that the magnet attracts iron, because I see it, and experience furnishes me with incontestable proofs of the fact. Truths of this class are called sensible, because they are founded on the senses or on experience. Proofs of the second class are founded in ratiocination thus. This is true, for I am able to demonstrate it on principles of just reasoning or by fair syllogisms. To this class principally logic is to be referred, which prescribes rules for reasoning consequentially. It is thus we know that the three angles of a rectilineal triangle are together equal to two right angles. In this case I do not say I see it, or that my senses convince me of it, but I am assured of its truth by a process of reasoning. Truths of this class are called intellectual, and here we must rank all the truths of geometry and of the other sciences, inasmuch as they are supported by demonstration. You must be sensible that such truths are wholly different from those of the first class, in support of which we adduce no other proofs but the senses, or experience which assure us that the fact is so, though we may not know the cause of it. In the example of the magnet, we do not know how the attraction of iron is a necessary effect of the nature of the magnet and of iron, but we are not the less convinced of the truth of the fact. Truths of the first class are as certain as those of the second, though the proofs which we have of them are entirely different. I proceed to the third class of truths, that of faith, which we believe, because persons of worthy credit relate them, or when we can say, this is true, for several credible persons have assured us of it. This class accordingly includes all historical truths. You believe, no doubt, that there was formerly a king of Macedon called Alexander the Great, who made himself master of the kingdom of Persia, though you never saw him, and are unable to demonstrate geometrically that such a person ever existed. But we believe it on the authority of the authors who have written his history, and we entertain no doubt of their fidelity. But may it not be possible that these authors have concerted to deceive us? We have every reason to reject such an insinuation, and we are as much convinced of the truth of these facts, at least of a great part of them, as the truths of the first and second classes. The proofs of these three classes of truths are extremely different, but if they are solid, each in its kind, they must equally produce conviction. You cannot possibly doubt that ruffians and Austrians have been in Berlin, though you did not see them. This, then, is to you a truth of the third class, as you believe it on the report of others, but to me it is one of the first class, because I saw them and conversed with them, and as many others were assured of their presence by means of their senses. You have nevertheless as complete conviction of the fact as we have. 31st March, 1761. End of letter 115. End of Letters on Different Subjects in Natural Philosophy, Volume 1, by Leonhard Euler, translated by Henry Hunter.